Hello YouTube fans, welcome to my channel. This is Darlene. Thank you for dropping by today and clicking on my video. I have laid some cards out here. I was in a time constraint, so I went ahead and shuffled and pulled the cards before I clicked the video on to record. So let me get my business out of the way and we'll get right into this. I appreciate you being here. I value your time. I know there are a lot of good readers here on YouTube, so the fact that you clicked on my video makes me very appreciative and grateful. And I am just getting started here on YouTube, so it would mean a lot if you'd hit that like button and subscribe and help me to grow. But more importantly, it tells YouTube that this content is interesting and it pushes the messages out to a broader audience, which means these messages are more likely to get to the families and the loved ones that they're meant for, because they are very narrow messages. And that could not be more true than this message I'm about to bring through. I have to tell you the truth, I debated about even posting this one today because it's way out there. But you know, some of my messages are, I just have to trust y'all, and I do, or I couldn't do this work. So it's just, to me though, a statement. This is going to be a quick sidebar, so y'all just look at the cards, please. It's a statement to the magic and the wonder of how Spirit works and how that's always happening and how Spirit is always orchestrating behind the scenes. We don't see that, but so much happens in our everyday lives that we take for granted that really is magic. Bringing people together, you know, you bump into somebody and they become your new best friend or your new lover or this or that, or, you know, all kinds of coincidences, which I don't think there is such a thing as a coincidence, happen in our everyday lives. And that is how I firmly believe that these readings get to those people. So if you don't relate to this message personally, then maybe you know someone who will. Please share it and pass it along. Now all that, let's get back to the message. I have a woman coming through today who's very distinctive. She is tall and thin, and she is of African descent, and she is showing me herself dressed in like a tribal attire, and I know nothing about this, so forgive me. I can't know everything about everything, y'all. I just can't. My brain won't hold it all. But she's showing me the rings. They're a stack of rings, like metal rings that go around the neck. And I know I've seen a picture of this before, but I cannot tell you what tribe that is or where it comes from. I know nothing about that. I presume it's Africa. That's who she's showing me. It feels like it. She's, like I said, very dark skinned. and so if you know who or what this tribe is or where they're from, comment for me so I can be educated and learn something new. But she's coming through to talk about her death. Apparently there were questions regarding her death, and so the person she's talking to is a young man. Now what she's telling me is this young man no longer lives in the town or the village, I'm calling it, the village where he was from, and apparently has come to, it may be the United States, it feels like it's the United States, but some country where he is now being educated, because I do realize my videos are watched from countries all over the world, surprising to me. So wherever this young man is living, it is a Western type society. The United States, could even be Europe, but I just get the feeling that it's the United States, because typically my readings come through to me for things that I can relate to. That's true with most readers. So I can't relate to some things, so it's no point in giving me that information. Anyway, he left to come and get an education, and that's kind of what the stages of life he is in. And I don't know how long ago this happened, but apparently this woman went missing, and there were questions about her death. But she lived in an area where it was not unheard of by any means for someone to be attacked by wild animals. And so the speculation, although they never found her remains, the speculation was that that was what had happened to her. She went down to the river one day to get some water, and she was never seen again. And so she's coming through to tell the truth about what happened. She's saying that she wants you, the family member, the gentleman who this message is meant for, she wants to tell you so that you can then pass this on to the family or the concerned ones who would want to know this information. She's saying what happened was she went down to the river and saw something she should not have seen. Apparently, she saw poachers, and then the poachers saw her and they killed her, and they took her body away and fed it to wild animals. And so that's a pretty specific story, y'all, but that's the storyline that's coming through today for this woman. And now I want to focus on the cards because they're telling me a little bit more about the story. There is some connection in this family or this story, and I'm not getting clearly, and I'm sorry, I'll always tell you if I'm not getting something clearly. I'm not getting clearly who this was, but someone, could have been this woman for all I know, but someone in this village or family was, well, I started to say medicine man, but yes, it could have been that, but someone who would have been looked up to and respected as either that or a shaman type figure. And that I'm not sure why that is relative, but I think she's just giving me that to help better identify or connect this story to who it's meant for, is what I get from that at the moment. Now, a second layer of energy, it could be that this young man was thought, it was thought that that would be his future in the tribe. So that is a possible storyline that I'm getting, that when he was born and raised, that was sort of thought to be his path, but then he changed and decided he wanted to become educated. And so she wants to give you, this young man who this message is meant for, a message about that. I think that you are and still do feel nostalgic about going home, and you miss your family and your village and your life. But she is affirming that the decision you made to go and educate yourself was a correct one, because she, I'm trying to get this story correctly. The nutshell, let me just go to the punchline here. The nutshell is that you are going to make a difference. Apparently your destiny, if you will, is that you are going to become some kind of a statesman. Now, that is not a word, y'all, that I use on my day-to-day life or in my vocabulary. So I don't know what scale that is on. I don't know if it's just a tribal level, if it's bigger than that. I do not know. But she keeps saying that word specifically, a statesman. And that is the path. And that's why you needed to go and get your education. And so maybe you are already aware of this. Maybe you're already having those inclinations that you want to pursue that path. And this could just be her way of bringing that through in the message today, so that you know this message is meant for you. And part of what I feel has motivated you, inspired you, or whatever to go down this path. These are new cards, and there's something on here, and I can't tell. I think they're supposed to be stars. Okay, cool. I kept thinking it was something on my card, and I don't know. Anyway, she's saying there was conflict. Two messages here. There was conflict around her death because, again, it was a bit of a mystery. Well, not a bit, it was a mystery. But there's also been conflict in the village. And now I'm drawing back between the conflict and this Magician card. There's energy bouncing off between these two cards here. And now it's coming down to the Six of Pentacles, which is saying to me, Six of Pentacles is often the card of, it can be wanting to balance things. It can also be that something is not balanced. So it seems to me that the energetic feel and message that I'm getting here is that possibly this person who represents this, is represented by this Magician card. This person I spoke of who had some degree of power, or still does, I believe, have some degree of power, that is either a shaman or a medicine man. There was a conflict, and there is still conflict in the village. And I don't know if all of this had to do with her death, or this is just an ongoing thread of overall general dissension about things in the village, like any community would have that, of course. But it has something to do with families, and I don't know what that means. I really cannot tell you what that means. It has something to do with families, and so hopefully you will know what that means. But there is not currently an equal balancing, and there is, in other words, an imbalance. And I feel like you very possibly saw this. Maybe, again, this was part of your motivation to want to get an education. But she is saying she absolutely, that was your destiny, that you were meant to do that, that you're destined to do that. Then, and I see this King of Wands. This King of Wands is a passionate, all the kings are passionate about different things. This man is an entrepreneur. He likes adventure. He likes, I don't want to get too far off the message, but in this deck, I want to focus on this particular king. This particular King of Wands is the most regal one I've seen in any of the tarot decks I have come across. He looks like he's got it together. I just want to look at his crown. Very interesting. Okay. And I just feel like maybe part of this imbalance that's going on in the village, did I mention he's an entrepreneur also, has to do with money. So I feel like part of your journey is to get your education, to very probably, I'm hearing that you will go back to this village and to help to right some kind of an injustice regarding money and families that has taken place. Yeah, to put an end to, the cards are just backing me up, to put an end to the juggling, to put an end to the injustice of this juggling of money that has been going on, to bring truth to the situation, and to bring a better foundation to the situation here. Pardon me. Yeah, that was, there's been a lot that you have learned and will learn in this situation. And I'm going to put him back on top because I think that's just a beautiful artist depiction of the King of Wands. And then lastly, the message I'm getting is whatever was going on with this other person, they're telling me you, in effect, because of what you've learned in your background and now your education, will go back and you will become the magician, in that you will contribute. You will kind of create magic in being able to contribute to healing whatever issues there are here. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Oh yes, she did tell me earlier, and I forgot to mention this, that you will know this is your message because you have a birthmark. Yes, you have a birthmark. And she's showing me, now obviously I'm white skinned, and birthmarks in Caucasian people typically are dark marks on the skin, whereas you are of African descent, you have dark skin, and she's showing me that your birthmark is a light pigmented area of skin, and it is below, like there, and I know you can't see my hands, I'm touching myself over here by my neck. It's below your left ear, somewhere either on your neck or on the top of your shoulder. You have a birthmark, and that is not, you cannot get more specific in a reading than that, y'all. So I don't know. I do really hope this gets to the person it's meant for. It is meant to be a message of clarity, giving you clarity about her passing, and also giving you affirmation that you've chosen the right path and that you will make a difference. And that she sees that she sees you in what you're doing. And I'm drawn to this card, the Six of Cups, and in the background, I don't know if I can hold that still enough, there's a kite in the background, and I'm drawn to this kite and this particular card because it's a good representation of how spirits do, that they hover. They're not up in our business all the time, but they are like this kite over looking down on us, watching what's going on in our lives. And that's what she's drawing me to, that to convey that message, that she does see what's going on. And she's saying that Spirit, so I'm not even sure if you knew this woman personally now that I'm deeper into this message, but you will know about this story. You will know, maybe she was an ancestor and she's guiding you to do this kind of work from the other side. Spirit is guiding you. I really don't know that part of the story. Only you will know that. But they are watching you. They are guiding you. She is definitely aware of what's going on in your life, and wants to congratulate you for making a hard decision and doing this thing, because it's not going to just benefit you in your life. It's going to have a greater impact on your community. Okay, folks, that's it. That is the reading for today. Thank you again for being here. And again, I really appreciate if you'd hit that like button and subscribe. Who knows, I might be bringing through your loved one next time. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.